Alright guys, welcome back to the Wednesday Night War. So we got NXT and AEW. Obviously AEW's big thing, which we got Shaq's first match with Jade Cargill taking on Cody and Red Velvet. And on the NXT side, we have Roderick Strong and Finn Balor main eventing, but it's all about the Women's Tag Team Championships. So who won for this week as the Wednesday Night War is coming down close to an end? So we start over with NXT on Wednesday night. Now obviously I'm going to tell you guys right now that I seen more of AEW than I did NXT that night, and obviously because you know what was happening over there at AEW, but you know what, it's cool. So off the back we get a tag team matchup with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan taking on Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. Me personally, I'm trying to get used to the Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher thing as a tag team, especially when I'm so used to Ciampa being there, obviously as a solo guy. But it's a hard-hitting matchup. Ciampa gets tossed off the top rope, and then Thatcher gets hit with the spike DDT suplex combination from Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, and they win the matchup. So we got afterwards, Roderick Strong comes out to the ring, and he talks about how Adam Cole broke the group. Finn Balor tries to come out in there, and Strong says Undisputed was doing just fine until Balor came along. And then Balor said the only problem with the Undisputed Era, the reason why you couldn't keep the Brotherhood is because it's this NXT Championship. And once again, I mean, he has a point. That's what's going to cause a rift between the people. And he says, well, look, next week is going to be Adam Cole taking on Finn Balor for the championship. So obviously he'll probably get that match out on NXT. I don't see Finn Balor losing because you got to get to Kyle O'Reilly taking on Adam Cole. That's going to be the money match. That's going to be the match after WrestleMania. During WrestleMania, it's going to be sometime around that time, but that's going to be the money match at the next takeover, or whatever the case, whenever they decide to do NXT matches. So right there it's going to be Finn Balor and Adam Cole. But then he tells Roderick Strong that, look, hey, you are weak and you're always going to be a follower unless you get some, you know, a backbone, some grind a little bit, because Roderick Strong, his voice sounds so pathetic on a promo, but he starts attacking Finn Balor, which is going to lead to a matchup later on tonight. When it comes to the best part of NXT this week, it's the therapy session with The Way, and talking about Dexter Lumis after he kidnapped Austin Theory, locked him in the basement. Giant Gargano is there, and he is just gold, sitting there arguing with the therapist. And then the therapist says, you know, you have an anger problem. He tells him to get out, and he said he doesn't want to get out. I'm the North American champion. This is my office. This is my chair. But then she kicks Giant Gargano out, and then she starts talking to Austin Theory about what's going on. And Indy Hartwell seems to be taking a rather nice look when it comes to Dexter Lumis, because when she was talking about, you know, it's kind of like sexy for him to be crazy, or she likes him a little crazy, she likes him suspicious. I was like, okay. It was like Indy Hartwell was getting kind of turned on by Dexter Lumis a little bit. And then we have Candice LeRae keep looking at her phone, and then Deborah says, are you getting texts from your husband? She said, no, that's not. So she opens the door. Gargano's out there. He's like, does anybody want any Uber Eats? I was asking if anybody wanted any Uber Eats. And Deborah's telling me, she told him all get out, but he was asking if he didn't need any Uber Eats. Then Austin Theory says, look, he had kind of fun. Nobody understood Dexter Lumis. He said he was down locked in the basement. He ate cereal, watched cartoons all day. But then the Deborah said Dexter Lumis made a comment saying that he was insufferable and he was hard to live with, and that he has a bad showing of his abs, and then Austin started crying, and then Gargano came in and said, oh man, you nailed it, as like this was like kind of like a setup. And he said, you earned every bit of this money, but took $100 back. Said, arcade money. Yes, I do know that life. So I thought that whole thing with the therapy thing was good. We get Aaliyah with the Robert Stone brand taking on Ember Moon here. Not much going on here. I mean, okay, first of all, I don't know what is going on with the Robert Stone brand in the first place, but Aaliyah ain't cutting it. Shotzi runs over and dives on was it Robert Stone and the other girl that's out there, and then Moon hits the Eclipse onto Aaliyah. And I said, it's always good to see the Eclipse. And I thought Aaliyah sold it pretty well this time, you know, with flip a little forward. But I don't know. I think you got to do something with the Robert Stone brand a little bit. now we go on for the Women's Tag Team Championships, which I thought was going to be the main event, but of course they're going to keep that for Roddy and Finn Balor. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax taking on Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I do like the thing they played up the bullying from Shayna Baszler to Dakota Kai and how she was playing with her in there with Dakota Kai. She's about to get her arms out again. She rolls out of it, tries to get the best of Shayna Baszler by giving her roll-ups and just showing her that she has the fighting spirit a little bit. But then she tags in Raquel Gonzalez, and then Nia Jax comes in. They have like a little bit of a stare down. She knocks Nia Jax on the outside. Nia Jax rams her into the apron, but then all of a sudden, they go both clashing over the announce table. Meanwhile, inside the ring, we have Shayna Baszler comes back and they fight with Dakota Kai and puts in the caribou to clutch. As she chokes out Dakota Kai, but Dakota Kai is not the legal woman. Raquel Gonzalez tagged in, so they kind of cheated and Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax win. So I don't know how they're going to play up that story or whatever the case may be, but I'm thinking that it's gonna be they gotta address it somehow because she was not legal, so they kind of cheated, or there was a bad referee mistake, so they may get another rematch at TakeOver. I don't even know what's going on with the Women's Tag Team Champions. Like, I even care about it. We have LA Knight making his way to the ring, and he says his time is now. He gets a very, very good promo. I like that he's the last of a dying breed. He doesn't want to be called the GOAT. He wants to be called LA Knight. He don't want to be compared to Tom Brady because Tom Brady's only half the man that he is. It was a great promo by LA Knight. I enjoyed it. And I was like, because, he's just, he's good at what he does. So I like him over here in NXT. Bronson Reed taking on Cameron Grimes. So Cameron Grimes and Bronson Reed does a huge dive to the outside. I still don't like when these big guys out there are doing those kind of suicide dives. One, it's dangerous, and two, it takes away from the dive. And then meanwhile, as he goes to Tyro for the splash, LA Knight does come out and distract him and give Cameron Grimes back his hat. Then kind of gives an armbar to Bronson Reed off the top rope, and then Cameron Grimes hits his cave in on Bronson Reed and wins the matchup. So I thought it was cool. LA Knight and Bronson Reed may have something, LA Reed could do some. LA Knight, excuse me. Kaden Carter is, there is backstage of William Regal and Adam Pearce arguing about what happened with the Women's Tag Team Championships. And then we have Kaden Carter interview backstage saying that she's pissed off Xylee took out her best friend, and all she sees now is red, so she's going to take on her next week. So that should be kind of good, too. We supposed to have a match between Everrise and Breezango, but then we have Del Fantasma come out and attack them, including Santos Escobar, as they stayed tall in the ring after the disappointing loss to Karrion Kross in a no disqualification matchup. Then it's time for the main event. Finn Balor taking on Roderick Strong here. Of course, good matchup by these two guys. When you get these two guys in the ring, they're going to be doing good. But Finn Balor hits the 1916 on Roderick Strong and picks up the win. So Finn Balor is looking good going into NXT next week. We're going against Adam Cole. But after, I missed it. This was like on the network exclusive. Adam Cole and Finn Balor come down. They have like a little argument and tussle in the ring, so I didn't see that. Now it's time to go over to AEW Dynamite, which Dynamite ruled this weekend. I'm letting y'all know right now, Dynamite won it for me. But first up in the night, we're getting they call it the Mega Size Mixed Tag Team match with the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet taking on Shaq and Jade Cargill. Now, first of all, I was so upset because I didn't get the chance to watch this match live when it happened because I was dealing with some parental stuff, which pissed me off. And I know it's going to be the first matchup. And obviously, a lot of people just like me were saying, why is this match going to be on Dynamite when this had a Revolution feel to it? Well, once again, like I said earlier, that the All-Star game is going to be on Sunday. So Shaq's when it comes to basketball, he has to do the All-Star game. So since that's going to be on Sunday, they couldn't have him at Revolution and do the All-Star game. So All-Star game it is. So we're going to do the matchup on Dynamite. And you know what? It was either going to be a shit show or it was either going to be a good match. And I had to say, these guys here, all of them, they put together a good matchup. It was very entertaining. I never was bored with it. And I'll get to Jade Cargill in a minute. Jay Cargill and Revo does it because of crossbody from the top. Jay Cargill rolls through her and it gives her a fall away slam with a kip up. I thought it looked very impressive. Shaq gets kneed to the outside by Cody, and then also the Nightmare family starts jumping Shaq at ringside when it comes to like the gun club. They start beating them up, and then QT Marshall's out there. I'm just like, oh my god, we had Nightmare NWO family out there just take going to Shaq. Referee tries to get things back in order, and then Jay Cargill comes to the outside, and then all of a sudden goes on the outside, and then Red Velvet does a huge moonsault from the top and taking everybody down. I was like, it's a little risky, but she ended up doing it, so it was pretty good. Back into the matchup, Jay Cargill tries to do the figure four leg lock, and Jay gets out of it. Then Shaq is just pacing around. He is doing a pretty good for what he's doing. So we on the outside, Jay goes out, puts up a table, sets up a table. I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's no disqualification match, but they'll let it go. And then Red Velvet goes to the outside, and she sets up another table right next to the table. I'm just like, I don't know what they try to do with these necessarily with these tables. So Shaq and Cody are in. They try to do a test of strength, and then Cody knees Shaq, but then Shaq knees Cody, and then does a Brody Lee tribute powerbomb, which that's what it looked like to me on the Cody. Even though Cody no-sold it, and it chopped Shaq right in the face, and then bounced off the ropes and tries to go for a body slam. It didn't look necessarily too good. I don't know if they mistimed it, miscommunicated, or whatever the case may be, but he took Shaq down, tags in Red Velvet, and her and Shade are back in the ring again, going at it, and then Red Velvet bounces off the ropes, and then Jay hits a nice spine buster onto Red Velvet, and then so once again she's going for it, go for the pin. Cody breaks up the pin, and then Shaq tries to swing at him. Cody bounces off the ropes and jumps onto Shaq, and they both go through the tables. And I was like, oh, Shaq took a table spot? Wow. I was like, okay. That was dope. Jay Cargill looks surprised. The Red Velvet goes for a spear, but then the camera guy missed the spear because he was looking at Shaq and Cody on the floor. Jay kicks out, and then she looks at Arn Anderson like, what did I do? She passes up on her shoulders, but then Jay reverses it, gives her like the Beth Phoenix Grand Slam, and pins her, and Jay Cargill and Shaq win the matchup. I thought the match was good. They loaded Shaq up with an ambulance. Shaq did great selling when it came to the table spot. I enjoyed it. I know they put together a great match. It would have been cool at Revolution, but it was still cool to have this on Dynamite. Red Velvet, just like, it's my faith. Brandy had a match. Could they have crafted a match with Brandy? Yeah, but Red Velvet is a wrestler, where I don't find Brandy as much of a wrestler at all, and she wasn't going to be able to handle Jade at all. So I enjoyed that. And Jade Cargill, I'm going to tell you something right now. She's green. She's very green right now. You can tell she's green. And I just think that with training and polishing her up, you give her 2 years of solid training, learn the business, stuff like that, she can be the next superstar. So you can build the women's division around Jade Cargill in the next couple years by just letting her train. I'm hoping that when she trains and then she does more listening than trying to go against authority, trying to be more like the Kurt Angles of the world, and try to just soak all that thing in and learn it real fast, learn it real quick, because she's a beautiful woman, got an amazing body. So I think good things ahead for that. Pac and Ray Phoenix take on John Striker and D3. Didn't see this matchup, but it wasn't nothing much, as they pick up the win very quickly. Jericho and MJF have a press conference. They're out there with the rest of the Inner Circle talking about what they did to Papa Bug last week, and they're having like a little press conference where different people come in and ask them certain different kinds of questions. So we had a couple people come in and ask questions, stuff like that, and I forgot who mostly was on there, but I do remember. They had Conrad Thompson from Grillin' JR. He came there with MJ, call him Turkey Tits. I thought it was funny. Then we had, of course, Eric Bischoff from the 83 Weeks podcast. I thought that was cool, and then he was asking questions about Pop Bucks and like that. And then Jericho, MJF, let's say was getting mad, but then the Young Bucks come out there and they cut a promo on Jericho, and he said, because Pop Buck helped make us and we helped make AEW. And where would you guys be without AEW? So the first thing, because they said their dad was the greatest dad in the world, he taught us about faith, family, love. And sorry to Chris and MJF, he did all the things your fathers failed to teach you. So he had the DIY spirit, and he said, so MJF, without AEW, you still be waiting for a callback to the Rosie O'Donnell show. But the burn came when he said, Chris, what would you do without AEW? He said, you'll probably be jerking the curtains at the Performance Center tonight. Whoa! I was like, you can't come back from that. You can't come back from that at all. So then afterwards, he said he also taught us to stand up for ourselves. They hit a super kick on both of them, and then they just start brawling. Then here come Gallows and Anderson out there. They pull out some tables. Now, did I enjoy the brawl? Yes. Did I enjoy these spots? Yes, but it was stupid spots. On the floor, they have Ortiz on one table, and then they have Santana on another table. Matt Jackson runs off the stage and drops an elbow on Santana, and then Nick Jackson climbs up on top of the entranceway and hits a swanton on Ortiz. I mean, they're selling it, but I was like, why do these big ass spots right before you have a match on Sunday? But that's Young Bucks way, so I wasn't too necessarily mad at them for that. Tully Blanchard and FTR taking on the Jurassic Express in a 6-man tag team match player. So we seen Tully Blanchard in the ring fighting again. So I think that's all. That's kind of all right. He wasn't that bad. I've seen worse older Jake Roberts. That shit does not necessarily be in the ring. Luchasaurus comes in there. It's hot. Hits a double German suplex on Daxon. And Daxon Cash. I know I get the names wrong. I want to say Scott Dash and Dawson so bad, but I definitely don't. So yeah, he hits the double German on them. There's this one move that Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy hit on Dash Wilder. There's like a backdrop into a power bomb. I thought that was kind of cool, and they kicked out. JJ Dillon is out there, so got some old Four Horsemen references and stuff going on out there. I was like, oh, okay, it's cool to see him. I don't mind seeing him. Jungle Boy sees the FTR's on the outside. Jungle Boy goes to dive, and some masked guy gets it, like blocks and gets in his way. So they take him out, and then they go. Tully Blanchard is already tagged in, and it's like Luchasaurus about to choke slam him, but he just like a sidekick to him, got a little selling. He does do his trademark springboard suplex or his slingshot suplex onto Marco Sangatella. Took all the air out of him though. Inside, FTR after the distraction put Luchasaurus, and Tully jumps to the top and does a spike power driver. This like he has to fall over everybody, and he pins Luchasaurus. And then so you find out who the masked guy was, and the masked guy, it happens to be Shawn Spears. So Shawn Spears is bad. So that's what that was. Okay, Tony Schiavone is up on stage, and appearing for the first time on AEW is Paul White. He has a shirt that says "Done with the BS." Get it? So I was like, okay, I'm kind of into that shirt. I like that shirt a little bit. He comes and he's saying they're going to have a new show they're going to be doing on YouTube called AE Dark Elevation, which is going to be like Dark Cut in Half starting Monday, March 15th, which I think Dark needs to be cut in half anyway because they had like a 2-hour show for like 16 matches, and sometimes the matches don't get a chance to breathe. So they still plan on doing another TNT show, but right now this is what's going to be on the YouTube show. And then we have Paul White telling everybody AEW has a major signing coming, and I got the big screw that you're going to find out on Revolution. Old school hook and reel, trying to get people in there to watch it. We don't know necessarily who it's going to be. Like I said, we don't know if it's going to be CM Punk. I doubt it's going to be CM Punk. It ain't going to be Dwayne Johnson. Maybe Batista. I don't know. Batista's retired, so it was sudden that he retired. He been clearing for this match with Triple H to retire, and then all of a sudden he just goes over to AEW like, yeah, like kind of like Ric Flair did. No, I don't see that. But it could be like maybe like I necessarily don't know who it could be. I'm just sitting here waiting to necessarily be surprised. When it comes to, we got the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. We have the Native Beast Nyla Rose taking on Ryo Mitsunomi, which I think Britt Baker should have had this spot, but she lost to Nyla Rose the week before. Nice big girl matchup here. Ryo is just really turning Nyla inside out with German suplexes and leg drops. So she hits a top rope blade drop on a Nyla Rose and wins the matchup that way. So I figured she was going to win the matchup. I still think Britt Baker should have been the one in there, but once again, who knows? Toy Schiavone is there to interview Sting, and Sting is like, he knows that this Sunday, Revolution, he's ready for a street fight. But then Ricky Starks comes out to the ring, and Ricky Starks lets everybody know, like, look, I'm just coming out, this is me. Nobody sent me out here. You still got it. And, but I still stand behind what I said, that you're no icon, and stab Sting. Well, Sting don't like that. He starts beating up on Ricky Starks, trying to rip his shirt off. Gives him a Stinger Splash, and then a Scorpion Deathlock. Then here comes Powerhouse House to pull Ricky Starks out the Scorpion Deathlock. Then here comes Brian Cage and his son, and then all of a sudden here comes, as they're jumping the stake, here comes Darby Allin. And he's just like a shotgun drop kick to Brian Cage off the top rope, and they exit the ring as they stand over there. So I'm like, okay, we ready for street fight. Let's see how this thing's going to go. Dark Order number 10 will come to the ring with -1, taking on Matt Caster, the Acclaim. Makes a little Lady Gaga doll walking joke in his rap. Too soon, bro. So this match I wasn't really into because I don't like the Dark Order, but needed here to say this. Matt Caster picks up the win here because God, who was he screwed by? They came out and screwed over 10. Matt was it Jack Evans from TH2 came out and did it, and we seen Big Money Man pay him $4,200 for doing that. So okay. I missed the Miro promo, but we have Hangman Page and the Dark Order John Silver versus Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn of Private Party. This is when I tuned out of AEW, because I was like, wait a minute, that main event didn't do it for me at all. I was like, why is this even the main event? I missed what happened of who necessarily won, but I think Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn won the matchup. I'm not necessarily sure. I really did not see this matchup. And I know a lot of people may be a little upset, like, why was I reviewing it if I didn't see the matchup or go back and see it? But that really bored me. But AEW still gets the win from me for having the show of the week when it came to Shaq and Jay Cargill putting a very fun, entertaining matchup. If you listen to on YouTube, you guys can post in the comments down below how you guys feel about AEW and NXT or the Wednesday Night War this past week. But once again, if you listen to the podcast, we are moving on. But once again, like I said, like, subscribe, and share. And once again, this is NCA Play Speak, Children Train Mr. A&D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.